So, with having lately been doing a lot of little electronic stuff and wiring up some enclosures for the CNC controls and whatnot, I've been doing everything pretty much by hand with a screwdriver, which it's fine. Been doing it for years. But I recently started thinking, maybe I can make this process a little quicker, and just easier. So I bought this one. It's a cordless screwdriver, single battery in there, rechargeable via USB-C, and this thing is actually pretty fantastic. But you know, it lacks in torque, which is to be expected. It's got an LED. You press this button, the LED lights up, which is pretty freaking cool. And you have your forward and then your reverse. Cool, right? It's got a brake on it, because of the gearing. So even if you torque out, you can still turn this and use it kind of like a regular screwdriver. Not wrenching on it like crazy, though. I think it's got a rated amount of torque that you could put on the tip as manually operating it as like a little screwdriver. But this is great for small electronics, small screws. You don't want to strip anything out. This is pretty freaking nice. And there's other variations of these, some that are a little bigger, some that actually have a little torque ring on the front. But I don't know, this was like the first one I seen and kind of liked, and I went with this one. Pretty cool. And then I saw this one on Amazon, and I gotta say, I'm genuinely impressed. It didn't really have any reviews, which was weird, but I found people reviewing this on YouTube, and I checked it out, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is impressive. So I had to get it for myself. They have it listed for like $70, but with a 50% off. So really, this was only like $35. And holy cow, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this actually has too much torque. Like, it's great. And even on setting number 1 for torque, because here's your forward, reverse. There's a button right here, forward, reverse, and then these are your torque settings, all the way up to number 6. Number 1 is like almost too much. I thought that this would be another good alternative as a step up from this, to have a little more torque but be good for some small electronics, but it's got too much torque. Like, you could kiss your small screws goodbye with this thing on torque setting number 1. I mean, this thing's it's probably about 1.5 pounds. Feels good in the hand. I mean, I highly recommend this thing as like a small little screwdriver, just if you wanted to take some screws out from the car, inside, if you're a car audio guy, pulling some screws out and stuff. Like, this thing is freaking amazing. And what's amazing, single 18, it's got a single 18650 battery in it, which is kind of soldered in, but if you needed to replace it, I'm pretty sure you could easily desolder it and solder a new one back in. A 2000 milliamp hour USB-C charging, like a standard chuck that locks the bit in, and oh boy, and all you got to do is just press it in and it holds it. Kind of cheesy LEDs in the front, but it clutches out. When it clutches out, the LEDs blink, and then if you let go, it resets. But torque setting 1 will kind of take your wrist and kick it. Like, I mean, this thing's pretty freaking amazing. I'm impressed. It's the Fant Fanttik, I don't know, 2 T's, Fanttik NEX L1. This is actually L1 Pro. If you can see, it's the L1 Pro. It's made by Aukey, which makes a lot of other stuff that you'll find on Amazon, like the power bank chargers that you can use for charging up your cell phones. I think they even have like a little cheesy 4K action camera, and some other stuff, car charger or chargers for the cigarette lighter for your USB devices and stuff. Freaking amazing. And it's got this decent little case with a little sliding lock on it. Genuinely impressed by this guy. But this has been really nice for like little small stuff, just running screws in, especially I was just tearing down my 3D printer that's sitting out here on a table. This was nice to just kind of take it in manual mode, break the screw loose, and then use this to just back the screws out rather than doing it by hand with a screwdriver. But this thing, absolutely blown away by the power it has. I've disassembled it and looked inside, and it's got just a tiny little motor in it, but the way the gear ratio is in here and the torque that it has is freaking amazing.